Has got it back. Pressure comes. He's hit. Slips out of it. Rolling to his right. Now he's going down. He's hit.
Brian
slips out of it. Rolling to his right. Now
Sack
he's going
for the
down.
Lion. Brian Branch got him. Sack for the Lion.
Taken by Mariota. Wants to throw it. Gonna get hit. Gonna get sacked.
Taken
by Mariota. Wants to throw it. Gonna get hit. Gonna get sacked.
Take it down. Brian Branch got him second time today.
Nice job.
Hands it to Gibbs, running right, runs through a tackle, gets down to the 10, running right, runs through a tackle,
still fighting
down
down
to the 10,
2, down to the 1, 5,
to the end
still
zone,
fighting down to Detroit Lions,
to the end zone,
he did touchdown Detroit Lions, he did
Nice
not
job.
quit.
Nice job.
Off to throw again, does, middle, J-Mo, angling to the end zone,
Does,
middle,
J-Mo,
J-Mo, angling to the end zone,
flips
into the end zone for
Lions.
6.
J-Mo flips into the end zone
Nice
for
job.
6.
Nice job. You talking about gut punch up the middle, then talking about tossing it on the edge, and once you get him out on the edge, tossing it on the edge, and once you get him out on the edge,
Inside
Sonic
the
is
20,
gone.
inside
Yes,
the
sir.
10, inside the 5, touchdown,
inside the 10, inside the
44
5,
yards, touchdown, Detroit
Jameer
Lions,
Gibbs
44
putting together
yards.
a day. Jameer
Hat-trick.
Gibbs putting together
Nice
a day.
Hat trick.
Nice job.
Adam Schefter at ESPN says there's 270. Adam Schefter at ESPN says there's 275,000 people.
Well, that was some party in downtown Detroit. 775,000 people shattering the NFL draft attendance record.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again.
All right, what's happening, Lions fans? Apologize about being so late, man, but it was a long drive back after what a crazy victory. Your Detroit Lions pulled out an absolute stunner in Ford Field. Yes, it did not go the way that we had planned, or at least some people had thought that this was just going to be a cakewalk, and it was anything but. But the Detroit Lions held tough. Jameer Gibbs exploded tonight into what is an absolute MVP performance. If you do not have Jameer Gibbs on your MVP shortlist, well, you better put him down because this man deserves it. Everything that he has done so far this season, even splitting time at some times with David Montgomery, pulled away tonight. 15 carries, 219 yards, 14.6 average, couple of TDs on the ground, one through the air, 3 TD night. This is his second hat trick night of the season. And when we needed it most in overtime, Jameer Gibbs absolutely torched the field, running away from the Giants defenders, locking up the game. All the Lions had to do was shut him down one more time on defense, and they pulled through. I will say this. I got a few notes that I'll go through here in just a moment. The New York Giants screwed up big time. When you get down in close to your end zone and you get shut down and all you need is a field goal to keep the Detroit Lions from only making a field goal to tie it, all you had to do is kick a field goal, and that forces the Lions to have to get a touchdown. They had to get a touchdown to win that game. But no, you decided to go for it on fourth down, and that's essentially what threw it into overtime because the Lions went down and scored a field goal, tied up the ball game, sent it to overtime. Overtime that I didn't feel comfortable about. I thought for sure that something was going to happen. The refs tried to make it happen, but they fell short tonight too. There's a lot to be proud about in tonight's game. There's a lot to be worried about from tonight's game. And I'm going to try to get to some callers here in just a few moments. I'm not going to be on super late. Obviously, I've been gone all day. And yes, I forgot my black jersey today, so I left the house with my blue one. And maybe it was a good thing. Because I think the last time I wore my black jersey, we lost. I think. Let me get my notes open. How's everybody doing tonight, man? Go ahead and start putting it in the chat. Like, what was your, outside of Gibbs in that amazing touchdown run there, you know, late into the, early into the overtime. Outside of Gibbs, what was maybe the most important thing that you saw tonight from the Detroit Lions, and what would be the worst thing that you saw tonight? What is the most worrisome part of this team? Is this team Super Bowl caliber? Many don't think so. Many don't think so, but I'll tell you this. We have 6 games left in the regular season. Anything can happen between now and week 18. Anything. One thing that has to happen is the Lions need to win about every game. That's what has to happen. The Lions have yet to click. They have not clicked on all cylinders since week 2. They had a really good game against the Ravens. How are we looking like such a different team week to week to week? If you go back and look at my keys to the game, maybe we should start there. If we go back and look at my keys to the game, there were some things that I said in here that had to happen. Had to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They had to happen against the Giants. Number one, my biggest worry into this game was the Giants' defensive front. Everybody thought that I was full of shit and that the Giants were going to be a nobody, that we were going to walk all over them. Their front was ailing from injury, Paulson and Debo, and I get it. All of those things on the surface look like things that we should be able to overcome, no problem. Well, when you have an offensive line like ours that is banged up, we have rookies out there. We have, another guard that has been a consistent problem as a backup in Coyote Owasika. Graham Glasgow, who has not played incredibly well this season. He's played good, but not incredibly well. And you have Penei Sewell's pass pro, which has just been atrocious at times. And Taylor Decker's a crapshoot. You don't know which Taylor Decker you're going to get because he's honestly put everything he has on the line this year. And I couldn't even slam Taylor Decker if I wanted to because of how hard he has played and how much he has gutted through all of this. But this offensive line's an issue. So the biggest worry for me was the Giants' defensive front. And I said, and I quote, when the Giants' defensive front fires on all cylinders, we have a problem. And right from the get tonight, the Giants' defensive front decided to show up. And they showed up in a big way. The Giants, like I said, may be struggling in the standings, but their defensive front remained one of the most dangerous units in football when it plays to its potential. Whether it was Dexter Lawrence, was he going to finally show up this year? Was it Brian Burns, the sack leader? Was it Abdul Carter, the rookie that everyone thought was going to be this amazing rookie who has yet to really step into that? He's maybe a little underweight. He's underperforming big time. But he has athleticism. He has a high motor. He has all the intangibles. All he needs to do is click. Behind them, Bobby Okereke. Who else? Darius Alexander, the young promising rookie. A lot of you wanted on the Detroit Lions squad. Anything could have happened tonight. Their run defense was terrible, right? They were allowing 5.5 yards per carry, 32nd in the league. Weeks 7 through 11, they were allowing 6 yards per carry, 14.8% explosive run rate. So what do? We need to run, right? Run the football as much as you can. But then when that wasn't working, we needed to dial up some explosive pass plays, and the Lions just didn't do it. They didn't do it. They had tackling issues. 22.8% avoided tackle rate. Avoided. They had coverage strains. They used heavy man usage, 39.3%. Bad results, 44% success rate allowed. So even though they had all these things going on, I still said the number one thing that we needed to worry about was that defensive line, which meant we needed to do what? We needed to neutralize Brian Burns. We needed to make sure that that edge pressure did not get to Jared Goff. And it did. And it did immediately. We couldn't treat Brian Burns just like any other rusher, any other edge. He's a game wrecker. And I felt like at times tonight, the Lions did not give him enough credit. They didn't give him enough respect. And if you don't give a guy like Brian Burns respect, I mean, other guys are going to come after you.
No respect.
You have to bring the respect for a guy like Brian Burns. He may not have popped off. What was he, a Jaguar before this, I think? He may not have popped off all the time. But he found something in New York that was working for him. Sometimes it's just about technique and scheme. I expected the techniques and the scheme that we were going to use were slide protections, shifting the line towards Brian Burns, double and chipping Brian Burns. Bring in that running back and that tight end help. On the first play tonight, I was telling my dad before that first play, I said, you know what I want to see is I want to see that tight end in motion. And I told you guys about this last week too. I want to see that tight end in motion, and you bury him right behind Penei Sewell if you're going to plan to run there. Or you bury him right behind Penei Sewell to start picking up some extra blocks to give Jared Goff just that little bit of time to get that ball off. And on the first play, that's what we saw. I felt great. I'm like, perfect. This is going to be the game. Things are going to happen. We're going to start clicking. Offense is going to get rolling. I predicted Jahmyr Gibbs to have 150 plus. And then things kind of fizzled out. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Too many punts. Defense has to try to flip the field. New York is going down the field and scoring at will. Not looking great. How could this happen? Right? How could this happen? You wouldn't believe, if you weren't in the game, if you weren't there, the boos, the boo birds that came out for the Detroit Lions offense and Dan Campbell. It probably took 3 series, and the boo birds started. Every time they came off the field, started to boo. Well, I didn't, but others did. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It's almost like we expect too much. And I'm going to say a couple of things tonight that you may or may not like, you may or may not agree with. Just remember, this is all about analysis and trying to get it right. Being a fan is always first, but it's also secondary to what I do. I said that we needed to exploit the linebacker coverage gaps tonight. Where did that happen? We didn't have Sam Laporta, but where was Isaac Tesla going to be utilized? Where was Jahmyr Gibbs on the outside going to be utilized? Again, I think the offensive game plan tonight was not the greatest. Drops by JMO, drops by St. Brown. I mean, what's going on there? Too many issues tonight that were just critical, right? We bounced back at times. There were some critical plays. The Lions came through. At the end, we win the game, but Brock Wright, man, inline blocking tonight, neutralizing the edge rushers was going to be a key to this game. Utilizing him in those short curl routes, seam routes, get the chains moving. We don't have Sam Laporta. You have to figure out a way to manufacture that production. I figured Isaac Tesla flexed out wide, even bringing him down in the slot, attack those linebackers and safeties with a mismatch. Where was it? You have all of these weapons, now overpaid weapons that are not being used. It's almost like, and this is a quote kind of from my dad tonight, paraphrasing, I shouldn't say quote, I'm paraphrasing a little bit about what he said. He said, you know, we have all of these weapons on this team. You might as well just say, you know what, you just stay in the locker room. Because we're not going to throw you the ball anyway. Matter of fact, we're not going to hand the ball off to you either. We're just going to go to St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. So David, Isaac, everybody else, just hang back. JMO, take the night off. That's what it feels like. I'm going to say something, and I know I'm bouncing around a little bit because I got so many things rattling through my head. And I had coffee. So, you know, that happened. But it's almost like, if you look at last year, Jared Goff would have 6, 7. Man, if we even had 8 guys involved in the game plan, they were all getting a pass and multiple passes to multiple players, it seemed like everybody was in sync. Everybody was involved. David would get 2. Jameer would get 2 or 3. St. Brown would get 6 or 7. J-Mo would get a couple. I mean, it was everywhere. The ball was everywhere. Not anymore. It's like Saint, drop. I mean, missed pass, high, low, left, right. But you still keep going to him. Why? Where's J-Mo? Why is J-Mo not involved in the game? What about, again, Gibbs out of the slot a couple of times tonight? More or less wheel routes. Oh, if I saw one more real wheel route tonight or flat dump off pass, I was going to pull my hair out. I get so sick of those plays. Literally one play we go to Gibbs to the right. The next play we go to Gibbs to the left. Same exact play, flip the field. Flip the script. That's all you did. And both of them didn't work. I thought Goff was moving well at times in the pocket. He was climbing the pocket pretty well. He was moving around. And then there's times he was kind of stuck in the mud. However, man, I saw some miscommunications tonight where there was guys flying unblocked. One of them was definitely called. But there was a couple where these guys were unblocked, and it was creating chaos for Jared Goff. That's an offensive line issue. It's not a Jared Goff issue. Attacking vertically would have been the thing to do tonight. Run the ball, attack vertically. But it's mixing those things up. It's like a water faucet to Dan Campbell or to John Morton. It's like, okay, open the faucet. Jahmyr Gibbs, go. And he goes. And he's going. And it's like, yeah, we've had enough. We're going to shut it off. Let's go this direction now. And it's not going. And it didn't go 2 or 3 times in a row. Now we're punting the ball. I get it. You don't want to run Jahmyr Gibbs into the ground. But that's where that mixologist comes into play. Has to be a give and a take. You have to utilize what's working. You have to punish the defense. You have to trap the defense. You have to get them thinking you're doing one thing and you do something different. That is what made Ben Johnson so good at his job, because I think he did that very well. When he didn't do it is when things really didn't work out for him, which is what we're seeing right now. That's what we're seeing right now. So anyway, to kind of hit back on a little bit of the things that I talked about last week, and then keys to the game was a kind of a summation of that this morning. It dropped around 7:30. But establishing the run balance against a vulnerable front, even though we knew, or I knew, that this was a defensive front that if they clicked, it was going to be a problem for us tonight. And it was. But then you have to take advantage of their aggressiveness. And this has been a week-by-week issue for the Lions. They're not taking the chaos that they're creating, they're not taking that and using it against the defensive, their defense's aggression. Much like all other offenses are using our aggression against us, we're not doing it to them. And that is a big key that is going to hurt us for the rest of the season if we can't figure it out. Players to watch in this game. I said Tyrone Tracy, Isaiah Hodgins, left tackle Andre Thomas and Jermaine Illuminor. They held their own last week. They only allowed 1 sack. They combined for just 4 total pressures. And tonight, you might as well have had Aiden Hutchinson on the bench until the last play of the game. Where was he? Multiple people sitting around us like, is Aiden even in the game? Haven't heard his name. Not seeing him. No impact. And you know what I'll hear all week long? What we'll see all week long is Aiden needs somebody on the other end. Guys, wake up. Okay? Wake up. Aiden is not the issue. Or the other side is not the issue. It's Aiden. It's Aiden. Aiden's not winning one-on-ones. He's not. And he's getting plenty of opportunity. Tonight, he was getting held a lot too, not called. And that shit's got to stop. The NFL needs to be put on blast, and I'm putting them on blast this week again. NFL Rig Part 2, a different version is going to come out because there's some crap going on in this game tonight that I'm sick of. But we can only use the refs as an scapegoat so many times because if we put points on the board, we keep them out of the game. And if we take points off the board from the other team, well, then they really can't get in the game. They can only affect it so much. The refs have a lot to do with some things that happened tonight that shouldn't have happened, but that's not our excuse anymore. Our excuse is us. Our excuse is our coaching. Our excuse is our execution. And if we can do all those things great, our excuse is we won the football game. But if we can't do those things great, then we are the reason we lost. And tonight we almost let it slip away. We lose this game tonight, season's done. Season's over. Because this would have been the last straw to break this camel's back. Not the injuries. It would have been this loss. Credit to the Giants, man. I think I heard Dan Campbell say they threw the kitchen sink at us. They did. They played like their season doesn't matter. They all played like they were auditioning for something. And so that's going to bring me to one of my last points before we start breaking it down, and we're going to open up the phone here in just a moment. And I got a couple of things I want to share. The Lions used to play like they had everything to prove. They had such big heart, right? They go into every game just playing with their hair on fire. I'm not seeing that this year. I don't know what's changed. I don't see the same energy from this team right now. I don't know. I don't know how to put my fingers on it. Like, I don't really know what the problem is. But the fact that you had just paid J-Mo an ass ton of money, he's not producing. And it's almost like you're not even trying to get him to produce. You paid Aiden a boatload of money out of the blue, which made no sense to me at all. He's not producing. You could say that Aleem McNeil's making a bunch of money and he's not producing, but Aleem just got back from injury and he's producing just fine. And he's not overpaid. His contract is extremely affordable for what he does. Jack is producing. He's producing every damn night. Jack was a savior tonight. This unknown kid, Jake Sailors, he's producing. He ain't making a bunch of money. He wants to make some money. He plays every single night like he's trying to earn a contract. If you look around the team, you look at the guys that are producing, Roy Lopez is an absolute stud. That dude is playing like he's trying to get another contract. But some of these other guys that got their contract, it's like, whew, man, that was a tough few years. I'm just going to put the slippers on. I'm going to throw my knees up, take a break. That's what it seems like to me. I know I'm giving you the raw emotion on how I feel, but this is what I see. I know they work their ass off. I know that these guys want to win. At least you would think that they want to win. But something seems severely off. I'm not sure what it is. I'm really not sure what it is. Lions could have done a lot better tonight. My predictions tonight, I put 2 because I saw 2 very different games tonight. My prediction number 1, Lions win 35-15. If the offensive line shows up and Dan Campbell mixes up the play calling, this won't be a contest tonight. That was prediction number 1. Prediction number 2 was Lions win 24-21. And I said if the Giants' defensive line clicks, this will be a tough opener to the 3-game homestand down to the wire. Well, it couldn't have gone any further down to the wire than it did tonight, could it? I said I dislike this prediction as the Lions roll again in 4 days. And what I disliked about that prediction is because the Lions just emptied the damn tank tonight, and they somehow have to recover and get ready to take on the Packers in a must-win game. It is must win. The Packers cannot come into Ford Field and beat us. Or we can forget about the NFC North for a 3rd season in a row. I need about 30 seconds. My dog's already calling me. I think he's wondering why I'm all hopped up. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Detroit Lions win tonight. I'm happy about it. I'm nervous as hell, too. For the first time this season, I'm nervous. Be right back. All right, guys. Come on, let's go this way. This way. Come on. All right. I haven't seen your messages yet. I mean, I've seen the chat lighten up, but haven't been able to really read anything. Okay. Enough of the, not enough of, but that's the tippy top of the I'm concerned sermon, I guess. A couple of things I noticed, and then I'm going to open up phone lines. I'm sure you guys have already gone over all the stats and seen some other shows in that have kind of, gone through that, so I'm not going to waste your time. Oh, man. My heart is not stopped since the game ended. Like, everyone just let out a big old gasp, like, holy cow, it's done. It's over. It was an incredible game. Those are fun games to watch. If it's not your team. Right? If it's not your team, those are fun games to watch. And you'll be able to go back and watch this game, and you'll be like, man, insane game. Just not while you're there. You're right, and not while you know your season is on the line. Malcolm Rodriguez, man. The first kickoff, he gets in, he gets the first tackle. Welcome back, dude. Welcome back, man. That's the way to show up on your first night, suiting up for your team in about a year. You show up with a tackle on the first special teams play. Hell yeah. Welcome back to Detroit. Man, burned on a flea flicker. What? Come on, really? A flea flicker? We're burned on a flea flicker. We almost got to him. We got burned on a flea flicker. Like that stuff can't happen. Can't happen. If I hear number 70 is eligible one more time, okay, it's lost its luster. And I'm going to say this. I love Skip. But 70 is eligible has got to stop. And the reason why it's got to stop is ain't nobody give two shits about Skipper out wide. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to defend him. And if he's not out wide and if he's still, in tight to the line, nobody cares. It ain't going to work. Ain't going to work. So it's got to stop. It was cool when it happened 2 seasons ago. It's time to move on. It's time to do something new. The nice wing tee tonight. Loved it. Loved it to Brock Wright for the first down. And then right after that, Goff shaking off a defender, spot pass to Brock Wright, dropped it. Getting too many drops tonight. I don't know how many we had, 5+, 6. Something crazy. Too many. Play after that, Goff gets held. Goff held the ball, gets sacked. Nobody open. During that, I don't know if it was our second or third, maybe it was our first offense. It was our first offense. Couple of nice hard runs. Couple of clean passes. Mostly dump off stuff, nothing downfield. Not impressed. After that first series. Man, Giants get their first offense. We had a nice stop by Reader. A lot of single high tonight. Almost the entire first half, all single high. Man defense. Why? We don't have Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch back there. I like Thomas Harper. I think he's going to be a good player if he sticks around. But, man, he got burned all night. I'm sorry. The single high safety is our Achilles heel. It's always been. Kirby Joseph, even if he was back there, he's the same way. He's always late to the freaking ball. He's always late on picking up the guy that gets free. You have 2 choices to make. You're going left, you're going right. I hate single high safety. I absolutely hate it. There's no reason why you can't have 2 guys back there and just roll one up, underneath. Lions second offense tonight. Goff did have a really nice step up into the pocket. And I make these notes so I can go back and look at the tape. He delivered a strike to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he just dropped it. And this is the problem we have right now that I'm not understanding. But then on third down, it's just the dink and dunk BS all over again. Another outlet pass for nothing. If you don't complete it, this is my notes. If you don't complete a long pass beyond the sticks, well, you're punting anyways, right? So why not get the freaking ball downfield? Go for it. You're not going for it on fourth down, thank God, but you need to go for the first down. You don't have Sam Laporta there to throw it to the 7 yards when you need 10, and he knifes forward for 3. Amon-Ra St. Brown hasn't been doing anything over the middle for some reason. You're not putting Gibbs on a linebacker. Why, I don't know. So you might as well get to the sticks. And if you don't get to the sticks, what's the point? Drive killers is what I call them. They're just drive killer passes. Giants third offense, man. I just can't. Brian Branch. What's going on with Brian Branch, man? I mean, we try to protect the dude and stick up for the dude that he's not dirty. And then another clear helmet to helmet tonight. Yeah, he didn't get ejected. It's ejectable. That was worse than what happened in Green Bay. How did he get ejected for the one in Green Bay and then didn't get ejected tonight? He's definitely going to get some mail by the NFL. He could get suspended. Repeat offender. He could get suspended before Thanksgiving. Not saying he is, saying it's possible. Next up after that was that Rock Ya-Sin pass interference that never existed. Like literally never existed. I don't know how they get away with that stuff. That stuff has to be reviewable. If the NFL puts a reviewable call in there for pass interference penalties, I think that changes the game in a good way. Has to happen. Too much bullshit by these refs. And it seems like Rock Ya-Sin has been getting one every freaking game. That really didn't happen. On the illegal pick play call back, or I thought it was an illegal pick play. I guess we had illegal man downfield. I have to go back and review that. Obviously, I didn't see any replays. The rule that I read, because I'm a little unclear on the rule, some people are saying he can't be more than 5 yards downfield. I think it's 1 yard downfield. College, I think it's 3 yards downfield. Need some clarity. Jared Goff throwing into double and triple teams tonight to throw it to St. Brown. I don't get it. Someone has to be open. Someone has to be open. Why are we continually throwing it to St. Brown in double or triple teams? We're lucky we didn't get an interception that way. I mean, it was all night. It seemed like double or triple teams on St. Brown, or 2 or 3 bodies around St. Brown, and Jared Goff is going to go ahead and thread it in there anyway. I mean, I love that Jared Goff is that accurate, but what we're seeing too many times now is Goff is not just throwing an interception, it's getting tipped, or it's getting, tipped by our own receiver into the opponent's hands. Yeah, J-Mo didn't do shit tonight. Brent DeWitt didn't do anything. What do you have, like 3 or 4 targets? All drops except for the one play that was called back. Reed tonight, DJ Reed. I thought he played a decent game. Obviously, the film was going to tell me something different. But here's what I thought was a bigger problem later in the game for him. He looked gassed. And so did Aiden. But he looked gassed. And this was his first game in several weeks. He looked like a player that hasn't played in several weeks. But yet, you're putting him out on an island in man defense the entire night, for the most part. We started to run some zone later in the second half, but you just put a guy out there on an island that hasn't played football, any meaningless football, in 6 weeks. By the end of the second quarter, he had no energy, and you could see it. And then he just got peppered. I mean, he was getting taken advantage of. How do we see this stuff, but yet your defensive coordinator, and I love Calvin, he's done a great job all season, but dude, you got to think about this stuff going into the game. Like DJ Reed, report to me throughout the game on how you're doing. Tell me how you're feeling. Because at that point, you need to give him some help. You have to give him some help. Shade both of those guys on the outside. I don't understand why that's so hard. But DJ Reed was getting picked apart a couple of times there, and it was all because I felt like he was just too tired, which you can't discredit him because there's only so much he can do to be ready. He has to play a game or two to get his feet back. All right? Oh my God. Then there was that, I don't even know where this was, but I don't know why Shepard didn't use a 3-4-4 or even a 5-2-4, anything on that fourth down call in OT. Like, man, you had an opportunity to shut them down and they got that big first down after it. And it's like, what are we doing in single high? Go, back up a little bit. First of all, put everybody at the sticks or in. You can have a couple of guys deep, maybe 2 guys at 12, 4 guys at 8, and then 3 guys on the line. Let them throw it short. That's what you want them to do. But be able to contend every single ball, right? Let them throw it short. Let them take off and run. You should have people right there to shut it down. Instead, we get aggressive and they get a huge first down. How about blitzing with no effect? It seems like, and this is a shout out to Jim tonight, one of my neighbors there, season ticket holders. I was like, man, are we the only team that blitzes with no effect? Some games, yeah, seems like that. We're blitzing and we're not getting anywhere. I don't know how that is. I don't know how that's possible. But it seems like it's possible for us. Let's get to some of the good stuff, man. Jahmyr Gibbs is a special dude. This guy put this team on his back tonight. And I heard what he said in the post-game press conference. He was not going to act like it was all him tonight. He clearly takes everybody on the field. But Jahmyr Gibbs bailed this team out tonight. He is such an electric football player. And we haven't even seen, I don't even think we've seen the best of him yet. You want to call him Baby Barry or whatever it is you want to, whatever name you want to come up with, you know, for Gibbs. Yeah, the Sonic and Knuckles stuff, that was cute last year. But he is all of Barry Sanders and better. And I say better, I mean, he has a long way to go. I know that. Like, he has a long way to go to be put in that same conversation. But early in his career so far, he does things different and more than what Barry did. Barry caught the ball out of the backfield seldomly. Jahmyr Gibbs is increasingly becoming a bigger threat in the pass game. And then in the ground game, I mean, God, what he did tonight was insane. 3 touchdowns, over 49 yards each. 1 for 69, I think 2 for 49. That's insane. I think he's like one of the only players to ever do that since like 1978. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Phone line's open. If you guys want to call in, it'll pop up on the screen. I think I asked Eric if he wanted to call in. I don't know if he's at dinner or what. Make sure everything's turned on here. Should be good. But overall, look, the Lions bailed themselves out. The defense did some really great things tonight. There's Eric right there. Eric, what's happening, man?
Hello.
How are you?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, who is this?
This is Will.
Oh, man, you sound really weird.
Yeah, do you have me on speaker?
Yeah, it's the only way to do it.
Yeah,
I'm driving.
It's a little loud. Anyway, talk to us, man. What'd you think about the game tonight?
Well, it was the good, the bad, the ugly, man. What a frustrating game, beginning to end, but, man, highs and lows, and it blew me away that we never had the lead in this game until the very end in overtime. You know, we never let this game, not for 1 second of the whole entire game, and we still won the game. Not leading for a single second in regulation. And listen, fans left in the fourth quarter, halfway through the fourth quarter. I saw hundreds of fans leaving. And, you know, they didn't stick around for one of the most amazing ends to a Lions game in a long time. As you can tell, my voice is completely gone from screaming my butt off all day. And listen, there was some boneheaded stuff by both coaches. All these throws behind the line of scrimmage drove me absolutely insane today. It needs to stop. They need to take every play with a throw behind the line of scrimmage, every screen, and just get rid of it. They're a detriment to this team this year. We used to be a great screen team, and now it's every screen gets blown up every single time. Everybody knows that's what we do, and we throw the ball to the sideline 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and nothing. And then another thing that really got us today, Bob went with me to the game, and every time we had 2nd and 1, Gibbs or Monty would run it for 9 yards. We'd have 2nd and 1, and we never tried a deep shot on 2nd and 1. That's the perfect opportunity to try to get vertical, and we never went vertical once today. the closest we came was that one in the end zone or whatever where we got the pass interference. And that was the first pass interference called on an opposing defense in over a year.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's the first one this year, and we did not have one at all last year. Not a single defensive pass interference because we never go vertical. We never throw the 50-50 balls.
Oh, hold on.
So
Eric, hold on 1 second. Kurt's tried to call like 6 times now. Hey, Kurt, we have a caller on the line, so we have Eric on the line. So when Eric's done, then you can call back in. I don't know if you're just not up to speed with the stream, but hit live on your stream so that you know that we have somebody on. And then remember to always kill your background noise when you do come in. So let me ask you a couple of quick questions, Eric. So
sure.
You know, the refs tonight, oh God. I mean, I don't want to go into it too bad, but I'm going to go into it this week at some point. I'm going to review it all. I'm going to clip all the tape, and of course I'm going to put them on blast. But the Rockhound pass interference was a phantom call. The holding against Aiden Hutchinson, I think we finally got one called tonight, but it's literally on every play, just about. I mean, there's some plays he's not held where he has plenty of opportunity to get to the quarterback and he doesn't, but he was phantom tonight. He was missing from the game tonight until the very end. Dan Campbell's play calling tonight was not a good mixture again. So here's my biggest question. Are the Lions still a Super Bowl team?
Yes.
Why?
They played a trap game today. This was a trap game. The Lions were looking, they were already thinking, okay, we have the Packers in 4 days. They were thinking about the Packers. They weren't even thinking about these guys. This is a 2-9 team. We should steamroll these guys, right? No problem. They were thinking past them. I really think that they were already thinking about the Packer game and just not concentrated on this enough and got kind of caught with their pants down.
You really think that they would look past this game, that the Giants were going to be an easy win? And
yeah,
you really think
do.
So? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't personally feel that way. And the only reason why I say that, Eric, is because, you know, last week I was one of the only ones that felt, or at least between you and I really felt that this New York team was going to be a problem. And I felt like we could win. I thought, you know, I gave my two score predictions, and you know that if this happens, it's going to be a tough dogfight like it was tonight, or if we show up in a certain way and, you know, Dan can get out of the rut and get the offense going, then yeah, we should run away with this thing tonight. But man, I don't know how people don't look at the Giants and say this is a really good defense that's just kind of going through it. They're having a rough season. Their coach is fired. The biggest reason why I thought that it was going to be a tough game is for the exact reason that I stated, you know, or said about the Lions. Just don't seem to have that glimmer in their eye right now. The Giants tonight we're putting on a, you know, they're putting on a show, but they're putting on a show for another team, and they're doing their interview process tonight. They're stacking tape, and the best way, you know, to do that is play like they did tonight. They played like nothing mattered. The Lions aren't playing like that. They're playing too reserved, and I don't get it. I don't understand why we're playing so damn reserved.
Yeah, open it up, play full throttle. It sure would be nice. And I think my biggest takeaway from tonight, the thing that surprised me the most, was the play of our defense.
Yeah.
Our offense, we scored 30-something points. That's perfect. But we can't allow a team to score 27 on us, especially a 2-9 team with Jameis Winston. You know, trick plays and all this kitchen sink stuff. Yeah. And just they were able to move the ball with ease. Same thing they did to the Packers last week. They went right down the field on the first series and scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
exact same thing they did last week. So we knew that was coming.
You know, the thing about
that's just my biggest disappointment was the defense.
Well, the thing about the defense looked confused tonight. The offense looked confused tonight again, and that to me is a big problem. We shouldn't be confused about anything. But the problem that I have with, or the I guess really I don't have a problem, but the defense should have expected Jameis Winston, a former first-round draft pick, has played a lot of football games. One of my warnings to the Lions fans that listen to us during the morning show, because I didn't do any content at all last week, was Jameis Winston versus Jackson Dart. Jameis Winston can win this game. Jackson Dart, I think we could have forced him into rookie mistakes. Then we find out late that Jameis Winston's going to get the call, and I'm like, here we go. This is going to be a tough game. Man, there's some good things to take out of this. Jahmyr Gibbs, a special dude.
You know who won?
Who's
Vegas
that?
won.
Oh, of course.
Yes, because the Lions, they moved that spread to 13.5 right before the game. So anybody that bet on the Lions, even the money line was minus 1,300. So the only people that won were people that bet the money line for the Lions, because anybody that bet the Giants, they lost. Anybody that bet the Lions with minus 13.5 points, they lost. So everybody that bet that game, except for the money line, lost. And if you bet the money line, it took $130 to win $100.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know,
minus 1,300.
I did some pretty crazy.
Everybody lost.
Yeah, I did some pretty crazy parlays, and now for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I could have won some giant money, and it literally came down to like 1 or 2 games tonight where I took points on the Patriots minus 7.5, and I think that they scored like at the tail end. Ended up winning, I think, by 4, and screwed me, and that lost a lot of my parlays. But I took like God, who was one of the first teams that I took? I took somebody. Oh, I took the Giants plus 12.5.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, took the Giants plus 12.5 tonight. So yeah, I got close. But anyway, Eric, I guess give me your summation here on the defense. Why did we look so crazy bad tonight?
I don't know. I was almost wondering if we were running like a spy defense, and instead of the linebacker, like looking, like these guys were wide open, uncovered completely, especially like when the running back leaked out of the backfield and, hey, here I'm wide open for 36 yards. You know, there was some bad open receivers. Just and open everybody. Just it absolutely blew my mind. Like that person that should have been watching for the tailback go to the backfield was watching Jameson, worried about him running, and Jameson didn't run on us at all today. 13 yards on 4 carries. I don't care about that.
No, I don't think that we ran a spy at all on Jameis. I mean, he's older. He doesn't run ever. I don't think that when we were in single high safety quite a bit.
But where was that extra defender then? I mean, there should have been somebody on that.
Well, there was a lot of confusion. I saw players running into each other on multiple occasions, and that kind of stuff can't happen. You had that kind of confusion going on in the defense. It seemed like guys didn't have a clue as to what was going on. We haven't seen that before. So what were we doing different tonight? Why are we doing something different than what we've been doing? And in a game like this tonight, you stick into single high safety. Why? Why would you stick into single high safety if your goal was to shut down the run and the pass? By the way, Jameis Winston became the second player in NFL history to record 300 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. Him and Matt Ryan are the only 2 players in the record books with that stat. And Jameson.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. Whenever we had like a 2nd and 1, okay, we had it like 3 or 4 times in this game where we got 9 yards on first down or 8 yards on first down, and we really noticed this in the game when we had that opportunity, they loaded the box. Not with 8 people, with 10 guys. Their safeties both came all the way up. They were like 5 yards off the line. Chuck the ball, go vertical one time. And not one ball went from Jared Goff into the end zone tonight. Not one.
Well, except for the ones that he's trying to throw out the end zone.
Not one ball went through the air and into the end zone into somebody's hands. It just blew my mind. How do you get to the 30 and not throw it into the end zone one time?
I don't know, man. It's something that I've been scratching my head about for a while. You heard me in the beginning of the year. My biggest thing about this offense is forget the red zone. When you get to the 30, the 25, you need to start painting the back of that end zone, some corner fades.
Yep.
But what do? We always throw it short of the end zone, and we try to yak our way into the end zone as opposed to doing what other teams are doing, which is getting it into the end zone and forget the red zone. Because once you enter the red zone, it condenses, and you don't have as much space. It's baffling, my man. It's baffling. But I guess give me a wrap up. I won't keep you too long, but give me a wrap up. And are you on tomorrow morning? Or are you off tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
I'm ready for tomorrow, man. I'm kind of fired up. Just listen, Lions fans, don't be like them people, the bandwagon fans that got up and left halfway through the fourth quarter. Don't give up on your team. Stay till the end. Cheer your butt off. Don't have a voice for the next day. And stop giving up on these Lions. This is not same old Lions. That's all I saw on social media was, oh, this team sucks. Oh, we're doomed. We're never going to win a Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Last year, the Chiefs, they went 15-2, and they won so many close games last year, and they still made it to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it, but at least they made it to the Super Bowl, and they did it winning games just like the game we won today. So that's my 2 cents on it. I'll see you guys in the morning.
All right, brother. Drive safe, man.
Yeah.
All right, take care, buddy. Bye-bye. All right, phone line will be open in just a few minutes. I know Kurt wants to call. Kurt, we'll get you in just a few moments. Just give me a few minutes. There's a couple of things I want to go through real quick, and we're going to talk about Aiden for just a moment. I see Mike Dickus-Fury's in here, causing all kinds of craziness. You can miss me with the Chicago Bears last place schedule. You guys are coming up against the toughest schedule of anybody in the league. When you can win more than 3 games the rest of the way out, let me know. Heather, you gotta wait a minute. I gotta get a couple of things off my chest real quick, okay? Actually, no, I'll take it. Kurt,
hello.
Yep, Heather, give me 1 sec. Kurt, you gotta wait. You gotta wait just a moment. Heather, as soon as you're done, I gotta say a couple of things real quick. But Heather, give me your 30 seconds on the Lions tonight. What happened for you?
Okay. My thought for tonight is that the Lions did good, but there's a few issues against Goff. The way he throws the ball and St. Brown trying to catch the ball. I don't want to see nothing like this on Thursday against Green Bay, because the Lions got to do better. Keep on going. No more penalties, period. And also, we're trying to win our division. Then you see the Bears is number 1 already. And then they put Green Bay number 2. They put us number 3 in this now. And, all I can say is that the Lions got to do better all the way.
You're absolutely right, and we will do better. Thank you, Heather, for the call. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, and you have a blessed and wonderful Thanksgiving.
You too, Heather. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night. All right, real quick here. I know that Kurt wants to jump in, so before he calls back, let me see if I can get this rattled off. Aiden Hutchinson. He's got some incredible stats in the fourth quarter. Okay? And here's what's going to happen on Monday morning. And I'm sorry, I've got to say this, but I've got to say it because it came from somebody in the stands tonight. And here's what they said. All of these Michigan fans are putting Aiden Hutchinson on a pedestal. Nobody wants to criticize the guy because he was a U of M player. And I said, you know what? You're probably right. And I get it. I understand their allegiance, to their former guy of their college team. I said, but if you watch my channel, I think you'll learn that people are starting to realize there's more to this game than what happened 5 years ago. Aiden needs to be under a microscope right now, in my opinion. Is he a great football player? He is. Is he being utilized wrong? I think he is. I think that the Lions have misused Aiden. And I say that because you're leaving him on the field too long. You need to take him out. You need to get him some rest. So I don't think he's as effective as maybe what he used to be, or maybe that leg injury and his ability to play just haven't synced up just yet. He still looks like he plays, with a lot of energy, a lot of fire, a lot of emotion, right? Motor doesn't stop, but something is missing. Something's not clicking. You hear people say, well, they're going to talk about Aiden getting all these double teams, and that's why he's not able to get to the quarterback, and yada, yada. It's not true. He is double teamed the 4th or 5th most on the Lions. And that's not even close to like the top 10 edge rushers. It's under 50%. It's like 46% was the last number before this week. Before the fourth quarter tonight, Aiden Hutchinson had 2 pressures on 21 pass rush attempts for a 9.5% pass rush rate. 9.5%. However, this is what all of those people are going to start talking about, or all of the, Lions fans that think that Aiden can't do no wrong. Hutchinson leads the NFL with 31 pressures in the fourth quarter or later this season. 29% pressure rate is the highest pressure rate by any player this season, in a season, since at least 2018, with a minimum of 80 pass rushes in the fourth quarter or overtime. In the fourth quarter tonight, he generated 6 pressures on 17 pass rush attempts, 35.3% in the fourth quarter and overtime, including the game-ending sack. Now, that sounds like a phenomenal number. And this is where Will is going to rein you in. Do me a favor. Go look, because I'm going to add it to my sheet this week. How many times did we have a lead in the fourth quarter? And how many times did we have a big lead in the fourth quarter? In what games did we have those leads? Did Aiden get his pressures? Without knowing the answer, because I do not know the answer, I have not looked. I haven't had the time to look. This stat just came out tonight. I'm willing to bet that a majority of those pressures came in games that we had big leads from. And some of those pressures might even have come from 1 or 2 or 3 games. I'm going to guess the Ravens game. I'm going to guess the Bengals game. And I'm going to guess... Oh, you can throw tonight's game in there, 6 pressures. I'll look at those 3 games the most. Now, the Ravens game, we didn't have much of a lead. But I'm wondering if he got a lot of pressures in the fourth quarter. Bengals game, again, lead, not so much. But I'm wondering. Because what that tells me is stats can be skewed in any which way you want them to be skewed to make the player look like they're amazing. When in fact, underneath it all, it's garbage time. It's what everyone used to say about, Matt Stafford or Stat Padford, right? Oh, he just padding his stats. They're just pinning their ears and going. I want to see these stats in the beginning of the game. I want to see this in the first half, in the first quarter, coming out of the third quarter. I want to see it when the game means the most, which is in the beginning of the game when you set the tone for how this game is going to go. So this is a problem for me because I know that these stats are going to be misused, and I think that Aiden is being misused. I think that they need to take him out of the game, and it's not, hey, Aiden, we want you to come out. Oh, no, I'm good. No, get your ass out the game. I need you off for at least a play or two. Why? Because tonight we needed him in the fourth quarter, and we needed him into overtime. Thankfully, he was able to go and get this sack at the end of the fourth quarter. The entire line was collapsing around Jameis. So it was a good quality team sack that Aiden was able to pull him down. I don't know who missed the sack earlier. Remember the one where Jameis just like ducked him? I think it was AQM flying from one side and Aiden coming from the other. And they both missed him. But I have to watch the tape. I don't know for sure. Most positive AQM was on part of it. But anyway, I thought that was a little interesting. Kurt, you got to call back in. I'm not going to call you, but you call back in. Line's open. There's just so much going on with this team. It's like we have so many little fires burning right now. It's like this team could go any direction. All right, there's Kurt. Kurt, what's happening, man? How are you?
Hey, man. How we doing?
Doing good.
TV down enough for you?
Yeah, I don't hear it. So, wild ass game tonight, man. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Where to start? We can't play ball like that and win games. But I do want to make a correction for you. You know, that Yasin play that you were talking about?
Yeah.
That pass interference? It was a solid call. If you watch the replay, he did have a hold of that receiver's arm for like a good 5 fucking yards. Pardon my French, but his forearm was locked right straight across that other player's arm.
So was that in the beginning of the route?
On the replay.
Yeah, was it in the beginning? It had to have been in the beginning of the route because at the end of the route,
it was at the end. Like when he was going for the ball, he bucked Yasin's arm off and went up for the ball.
Yeah, so I think we must be talking.
Yasin was like arm locked with him the whole going out for the pass.
We must be talking about.
I watched it on the replay.
Yeah, we must be talking about two different plays, Kurt, because the one that he got a flag thrown on him, he was 6 yards away from the player.
Oh, yeah, we must be then, because the one I was thinking you're talking about, he's right on the heels of the player, but he had his arm locked with his arm. Like,
yeah, I didn't see that one.
Had his arm strict. He got flagged for that.
No,
I was like, oh, are you kidding me?
I didn't see that. So the one that I saw, Yasin was chasing, and he's probably 4 yards ahead of him. The ball was uncatchable anyway. It was way over top of his head.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that wasn't bull. I about chucked something at the TV, but thank God.
Yeah, no, that's the one I'm talking about. Like that, I didn't see the other one. I must have went and hid in the bathroom.
There was
or something.
one play where Yasin got called for pass interference, and like I said, he was holding on to the receiver's hand, basically.
All right, so
you know better, dude. You know better.
So tonight,
it was earlier in the game.
Yeah. So tonight, give me your quick breakdown here. Offense, defense. Where do the Lions stand? Moving forward, are we a Super Bowl team?
Not. I don't see it. Will, I just don't see it. I'm like you. I'm dressed in Lions gear daily. I got seat covers. I'm a Lions freaking fan. I can't afford to go to a live game, but I mean, you're not going to find a more dedicated fan. And I'm being honest when I say this. I don't think we're going to make it this year the way we're playing, the way we're being coached. It's like everybody's already thinking about, hey, we'll be great 2026. Let's just phone it in for now, go through the motions, play our games. We win some, we lose some. I got paid this year. That's what I'm seeing. That's how, at least how I'm taking it. I don't want to piss anybody off, but that's how I'm seeing it, is the people that got paid are just like going through the motions.
It certainly seems like that. And
you talked about that earlier. Something seems off, and something definitely seems off.
I just don't know. I just don't know what it is. Like, is Dan Campbell? Is he losing the grip? Do we have a couple of players in the locker room that maybe are not? Maybe they're rubbing some people the wrong way. Is it a coach that we brought in, or coaches? Because if you think about it, the tone that was set with this team last year and the year before and the year before that, the tone was set with Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, and the other 13 assistants or 14 assistant coaches that we lost this year. And we had a totally different nucleus and group of coaching staff that would get this team ready week to week. And so when you have that big of a change and that much turnover, I'm wondering if it's something within this coaching nucleus, all the coaches combined, that something's not right there. Like the tone's not right.
Yeah, it is. That, and just like I said, I was trying to say online before I got interrupted by the commercial and it wiped out everything I'd written down. It feels like the people that got paid this year are now trying to protect their
money,
the investment in the lifestyle. Is like, okay, now, I got my money, I got my new contract. I'm going to back off the effort. I don't need to try as hard as I was because I'm here now.
Mm.
Whereas now, you're seeing now more than ever. You're seeing now more than ever this year, players that aren't getting paid stepping up and having, games where they're balling out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jack Campbell is a prime example. He's not getting paid the big bucks, and he's out there balling out every game. It baffles me.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say, this is just my personal opinion, and I know it'll piss a lot of people off and a lot of, and it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it seems like to me, ever since the NFL got in bed with the legalized gambling, a lot of stuff, there's been a lot more weird calls. It looks like, to me, like guys are out there just, like I said, going through the motions, maybe phoning it in. I've never seen Jared Goff play as poorly as he has in the last couple of weeks. And I realize he's getting pressured more and blah, blah, blah. But I saw games last year and earlier in the year where he got pressured like that and did all right. He run the ball, run and try and get away from a sack, where it looks like he's just standing there and not seeing it coming at all.
Well, I will say this though, Kurt. Some of those plays, and I say this too about Jared Goff. Like he's just kind of standing there, and that's what it seems like to us. The problem that we have as fans, and even if you're in the stadium, is you can't see inside the pocket. What we need is we need an overhead cam, like a fisheye cam, that is over top of the pocket. And if we could have that camera look, my God, what that would do, not only for replays, but to have that cam and a few other cams that you could pay for or put it in an app, NFL app, or include it with NFL Plus, and be able to look inside the pocket. Mm-hmm. I mean, that could be a whole thing for the NFL. Inside the pocket could be a whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's what we can't see. So we can't see how close it is to breaking down. We can't see, where these players are, any given moment, and how quickly they get to Jared Goff. Because if you notice, it looks like he's standing there. Maybe he should throw the ball, but then it's still clean, and then bang, within a quarter of a second, he's getting touched. and he's going down. So it can happen quick. It can definitely happen quick. And then we also have to remember that he might be looking the other direction.
Right.
And it's not like Panay Sewell can yell out and say, "Hey, Jared, move," because he's gone. It's done. It's over. It happens. It happens too quick. So that's why I think that we need to be able to see inside the pocket. So I think we'd have a lot more respect for what these quarterbacks do, not just Jared Goff, but what these quarterbacks do, because it's seconds. You're talking 2.5 to 3.5 seconds of life. Blink, it's over. And
yeah, that is true. And when I played ball, you're right. You got just a second or so to react to the play coming at you. We're not down there on the field.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part of it. But as a fan, I don't know. I've just, like I said, I notice certain things that maybe other people don't notice, like with the refs. Trace and I had a conversation during the game about the refereeing.
Mm-hmm.
She said her mom, before she passed, we were noticing how many bad calls and how many screwed up calls, not just against the Lions, but throughout, have there been since, she said when her mom passed, I think it was in 2005, how there's just been a steady increase.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of bad calls, man.
And it's like, really? You think they might bump up the hiring process for refs if we're having these kind of problems,
Well, that I guess that would speak to the, is there really a narrative
NFL.
or is there really a script? And so it was about halfway through the fourth quarter. I looked at Jim, who's sitting right in front of me, and I said, this is a really good script that Roger Goodell put in for this game when you think that they just went all the way down the field and they don't take an opportunity at the touchdown, or they take the opportunity at the touchdown. They don't kick a field goal. Now the Lions are getting the ball back with a couple of minutes left, and all of a sudden we tie the game up, and I could see it coming. Beautiful script. Good job. You just won over the hearts and minds. Look, the Lions fought their asses off to win this game tonight. Give me your final wrap up. I gotta get into something else and get out of here for the night.
Yeah, absolutely. They did fight, and thank God for Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, the bottom line, if we wouldn't have had Jahmyr out there playing his ass off, playing like his pants were on fire, we'd have lost this game. But I guarantee you, Will, Thursday's coming, and so shit might get proved.
Yeah, it's coming.
If we don't improve, if we don't go out there and play our style of football, the old Lions, the play action passing game, the defense has got to play smart. Can't get burned on these plays by, you let a second string guy have a freaking breakout game against your defense that's supposed to be elite. All last week, all I heard was how Detroit's got almost the number one defense, and we're playing so damn strong, and then we come out and we get lit up by
Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah.
But again, look, I said it last week. I'll say it again. This is not a team that anyone should have ever rested on. I tried to tell everybody last week, this is not a team to lay down on and think that they're just going to win. Wan'Dale Robinson is not necessarily a household name. He's a damn good receiver.
I see that now.
Yeah, Theo Johnson, he's the tight end that I did a video on last year, and I wanted Brad Holmes to bring him in so that we had our second Sam Laporta on the team in case Sam Laporta went down, but imagine having both of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Tyrone Tracy, I started noticing him last year.
Loveland and what's his face? Kmet.
Yep, exactly. So Darius Slayton's a good receiver. He didn't get much airplay tonight, but yeah, Wan'Dale Robinson, 156 yards tonight, way too much.
Yeah, exactly. And we just got to tighten it up. bottom line, we got to come out and play like we want to win.
Yeah.
That it's almost like we've become complacent.
That's what I'm seeing too. Kurt, thanks for the call, man.
Hey, you have a great night. Will, hope you're feeling better, by the way.
I mean, I'm okay right now, but we'll see what the morning, when the morning comes.
Yeah, I go through the same thing with my diabetes, dude.
Yeah.
So.
All right, man. You have a good night. We'll see ya.
Just keep fighting, man.
Oh, I will. Always.
Happy Thanksgiving. Love the show. You know that. So talk to you later.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you too, man. Thank you.
I don't hear from you before then.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye. Crazy stat line. Crazy stat line. You ready for this one? I don't even know how this is possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers or players that caught a pass for the New York Giants averaged more than or equal to 21 yards per catch. 6 out of 7 players that caught a pass tonight for the New York Giants averaged 21 or more yards than. Oh, let me take that back. I'm sorry. 5 out of 6 receivers averaged 21 or more yards tonight. Darius Slayton, 1 catch for 23. Jameis Winston, 1 catch for 33 and a touchdown. Isaiah Hodgins, 2 for 42 and a touchdown. Tyrone Tracy, 3 catches, 68 yards, 22.7 yards. Theo Johnson, 3 receptions, 77 yards, 25.7 per. And then Wan'Dale Robinson, 9 receptions, 156 yards, 17.3 average. Too many. Can't happen. Way too many. I can't wait to watch the tape back to see what broke down. It's going to be a quick week this week. We don't got much time to screw around. I mean, pretty much Monday we can talk about it. Tuesday we're right into it. Wednesday, you kind of finish up what's going on with the Packers, and then Thursday it's game day. I might be going to the game now. I don't know. Tyrone Tracy tonight. Lions did a good job of bottling up the run. We let 122 yards up all night, but only 62 to Tyrone Tracy, 47 to Singletary, 13 to Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was 18 of 36 tonight for 366, 2 TDs, an interception, 1 sack. Jared Goff put up the ball 42 times. 42 times with only 1 interception tonight. This is a damn good night. 28 of 42. What is that completion percentage? Is that like, 65? 28 of 42? 67? That was close. 66.7. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 to 219, 14.6 average, 2 TDs. I mean, just an insane night for that guy. David Montgomery, only 5 carries for 18 yards. I don't get. It is such a lopsided stat line. But tonight, Amon-Ra St. Brown had 9 catches. Jahmyr Gibbs led the night with 11 catches. He was exactly part of my plan in locks and keys to the game. Was isolating Jahmyr Gibbs on the linebackers. Exploit those linebacker coverage gaps. Utilize them a little bit more. So what I said about Jahmyr Gibbs was, quote, let's not forget about Jahmyr Gibbs here either, talking about exploiting the linebacker and coverage gaps. The Lions' offensive plan should include sending Gibbs into the slot more often, using his speed and versatility to pull the defense away from Jared Goff, giving Goff more time to work. With David Montgomery filling the run duties tonight or expected, the Lions could take advantage of mismatches all afternoon. I wanted to see scheming these players into favorable situation using a lot of motion, bunch formations, and RPO looks to force the linebackers into space and expose their tackling inefficiency. We were in a lot of bunch formations tonight. A lot. Not enough spread offense. I kind of miss the days. Calvin Johnson out to the right. Somebody out to the left. Take your pick. And then you had tight ends and you had a running back. You had tight end and a running back, or two tight ends and a running back. Golden Tate shined. Calvin shined. We had deep game, deep boundary game. We don't see that anymore, and I don't know why. We need it back. I don't really know what else to share tonight. Obviously, I will say this. Right now, the Detroit Lions are third in the division. I don't care about that. It's all semantics. Technically, we're in third. And that's because the Packers have a tie. And if that was a loss, then they would still be over us because of the tiebreaker. But we're 3-3 away, 4-1 at home. And I don't know what we are in the division. What are we in the division? 1-1? No, 1-2 in the division? Yeah, we're 1-2 in the division. Thursday's a must-win game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I don't know how beat up the Packers are. I keep hearing all these things. People are saying the Packers are beat up, that they lost some players or whatever tonight. I haven't looked. I'll look when I go jump into bed and do my reading before I go to sleep. I'll figure out what happened tonight. But we have a tough road ahead of us. But the Bears have a very tough schedule ahead of them. A very tough schedule. Not worried about the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy is absolute hot trash. And the Vikings made a bad decision. I am not worried about them. The Packers, I don't think they're for real. I don't think the Bears are for real. But playing the last place schedule, I mean, you're going to have some wins against some teams that you probably shouldn't have had wins against. I didn't watch the game tonight, so I don't know what happened in this game tonight, but it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has not been good all season. You didn't have Aaron Rodgers in there tonight. I do like Rudolph. I think he probably played a pretty good game. Just looking at the score, he must have played a pretty decent game. But if Mason Rudolph can do that to you and score that many points and keep the game that close, imagine what another quarterback that's actually pretty good can do. And then defensively, the Chicago Bears defense is not very good. It's just not. What we did to them in week 2, I wouldn't be surprised if we do something similar to them in week 18 in their home. But with a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs healthy in week 18 and able to run, good luck stopping him. Bringing Demo back to Chicago, good luck stopping him. The weather's going to be a major factor, but I don't think the weather's going to be any more of a factor for us than it will be for them. It's just whoever holds on to the ball, right? Whoever doesn't give up the ball. I'm not worried about the Bears. I think it's a great script that it's going to be the Lions and the Bears in week 18 to potentially, decide the NFC North once again in a week 18 matchup. Great story writing. Whether it happens or not, we'll find out. I absolutely right now see the Bears or the Packers and the Lions in the playoffs potentially. Then again, the bottom can completely fall out for the Bears and the Packers and us. And only one of us makes it. We'll see. I heard Mayfield got injured tonight. That's going to be an interesting storyline. The Seahawks, great team. Rams, great team. 49ers, how do they keep winning? I'm not real sure. Eagles, look, I don't think they're a great team. I really don't. The Cowboys, the Commanders, the Giants, none of them are going to make the playoffs. The Falcons and Saints, they're going to be out. The Cardinals, they're out. Look, it's a tough conference. And if there's any season, if there's any year to really take advantage of a down year in the AFC, it's this year for the Lions. The Broncos are a good team. The Colts are a good team. The Ravens and the Steelers, not so good. Patriots, great team. Bills are good, not great. But you know, there's a good parity right there is the Bills. I think the Bills and the Lions are just kind of going through a few things right now, but they're kind of one and the same, man. They're making some mistakes. Bills are 7-4. Lions are 7-4. What are we worried about? There's only one team that has 9 wins and one team that has 10 wins. And one team that has, 4 teams that have 8 wins. So it's one loss. We're like 1-2 wins away from being right into where these other teams are. And they still got some good games ahead of them. Lions are not out by a long shot. They did a lot of good things tonight to go along with a lot of bad things that they did. And they'll be able to get it figured out. What can't happen though is this. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 receptions for only 45 yards, 4.1 average. That cannot happen. Throwing this little swing pass right behind the line of scrimmage does not work. It's never worked. I'm glad that they started doing it with the guys in motion a little bit more or running out of the backfield. That was a smarter play. But the way that it should work is you got to get that guy back behind the line, running north and catching the ball in front of him. Not right here, right? Not like this. In front of him like this so he can run forward. Catching it laterally or horizontally like that hardly ever works. And matter of fact, more times than not, those balls are either knocked down or they can be picked off. I don't know why we call those dangerous ass plays like we do, but it's got to stop. Jack Campbell, again, had a great night tonight. 11 total tackles, 1 TFL. Meek Robertson, I don't think he had good tape tonight, but man, he made some big plays when he needed to. Brian Branch, God, I don't even know if he's going to play this week. Thomas Harper made a couple of really good plays tonight, also got burned quite a bit. Roy Lopez, he should be back next year by the way he's playing. Malcolm Rodriguez, good to see him back. But we need some guys to step up. I don't know what Kelvin Shepard was trying to pull tonight, but it was not the right defense. Our offensive line's in trouble. And I'll finish there. Next year. I had this conversation with my dad on the way back. Talking about our offensive line, what does the offensive line picture look like for 2026? This is what it looks like for me. Depending on where the Lions are picking in the first round, maybe they make a trade with another team. Maybe we trade a player and a draft pick, and we move up to a top 10 spot, top 5 spot maybe. I don't know what there is for left tackles right now. I haven't looked. Lions need a left tackle early in the draft next year. We need to get one of the best. I wouldn't settle for anything less. You're not going to like what I say next. I don't care if you're Miles Frazier or Christian Mahogany. Look, Miles Frazier might be a good player at some point. I'm not sinking my chips in this team's ability into 5th, 6th, or 7th round players. You need to go out and get a center, the best center in the damn draft next year. You need the best center that's a rookie. I can deal with that. But you better go out and find another all-pro left guard that can play next to that center and then next to your rookie left tackle. Do not have 2 rookies next to each other. I want to see an all-pro free agent left guard, at least on a 2-year deal, and then Mahogany and Frazier, well, they can learn for a little bit, and then they can get up to speed. Because, look, Frazier's or Mahogany's be coming back from an injury. Could take a little bit of time for him. I know there was a report maybe he comes back end of this year. Doubt it. I think he's played okay. I don't think he's played great. Not having Frank Ragnow this year was a huge loss. Huge loss. Can't let that happen again. You need a stud center. You need to go reload this offensive line. And do not think for 1 minute that any freaking edge player on the defense is any more important than this offensive line. Because now you're seeing what I said 2 seasons ago. When Frank Ragnow at the end of the 23 championship game, NFC championship game, didn't know if he was going to play again, at least that's what was surfacing, that he might retire, right? The first thing that came out of my mouth was, Brad, if and when Frank Ragnow comes back, this is in one of my shows, you need to go out and get a center, guard hybrid, and you better get him trained up right now. Because the minute that Frank hangs it up, you're going to be left with nothing. And what's funny is I said to go get that player now, get him ready to go, so that you have a guard now that's in a pro system, learning the NFL, learning the lingo, getting trained under one of the best centers to ever do it. And then when it's time, it's time. And Brad came to the mic like the next year or something like that, and he said, I know there's people out there that wanted me to get a guard, center early to get, ready for Frank and yada, yada, yada. I just don't think that's the right way to do things, or whatever he said. And it now blew up in his face. Had he done that, we wouldn't have been in this situation. Graham is good. He's not great. He's not all pro. He's good. But he's surrounded by a 5th round pick and a rookie. It's not easy. It's not easy. So get an all pro, spend the money to do it. That is the most important money you could ever spend in another edge. Get another edge in the draft. Someone that has 34-inch arms, please. That's at least 6'3.5", 6'4.5", 34-inch arms, minimum. Prototypical edge. And get a left tackle. If we come out of this draft with a left tackle, an edge, and a center, all high draft picks, first, second, third, or first, second, first, second, third, and all really good football players, that is about the best we're going to be able to do next year to be able to reload this team and then bring in a pretty decent free agent value for a guard. I doubt that there's going to be a center available. I doubt there's going to be a left tackle available. And if there's a left tackle that's about to enter, their second contract, or maybe they didn't get their second contract. They got like half a second contract. You know what I mean? Good player, maybe had an injury or something, fell off a little bit. I don't know who the player is yet. And you might be able to get him on a 2 or 3 year deal at a decent rate. I'd be open to that too. If you want an all pro, you're going to pay for an all pro left tackle. It's going to be $30 million a year, $26 million a year, in that range. To get an all pro left guard, you're talking $15 mil, $17 mil, and that's okay. Y'all wanted Aiden paid, but I'm going to tell you what we're going to start tracking. How much those sacks, when he starts getting paid next year, how much that production is costing us versus getting another player that could have done that production for a lot less. This is when the rubber meets the road for me. We should have had the offensive line more than ready, and we didn't. And that's what's killing us right now. It's the offensive line. It's been the offensive line. We were 1 injury away this year from having some trouble, and we were 2 injuries away from having a collapse. And we've had multiple injuries this year. So at the end of the day, look, we won. There's nothing to apologize for. There's nothing to be mad at outside of we have some concerns, but we still have a really good football team. And we have a football team that can go out and get wins. They still haven't lost. After losing, they have not lost twice in a row since when? I thought I seen a stat about that tonight. I don't know where it is right offhand, but oh, here we go. We have 13 consecutive games. We have won 13 consecutive games coming off of a loss dating back to week 9 of 2022. Think about that for a moment. Week 9 of 2022. So that's 23, 24, 25. 3 full seasons. And we've had 13 losses or less in 3 seasons to this point. That's pretty incredible. We're a really good football team. Jack Campbell's an absolute stud. He leads all linebackers in run tackle percentage and run stop percentage this season. Absolute all pro this year for Jack Campbell. We are so close, but yet we are so far away. And that's it for tonight. Appreciate you guys joining Rockhound Detroit Lions post-game show. We'll see you guys in the morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday for the Rise and Grind morning show. It is a holiday week, so we are going to have some change to holiday hours. But plan on us being up tomorrow at 8 a.m. To do the Rise and Grind morning show. If you don't see a thumb, it'll be up. If you don't see it, that means we're going to go on a little bit later. No later than 8:30 tomorrow. But we'll get it in. You guys have a good night. Be safe out there if you're still driving or whatever you're doing. But we'll see you guys in the morning. Go One Pride, man. We got another win. That's all that matters. We're still fighting. We're still clawing. We're a little bit banged up. We got some players coming back. And next week, it's just another hurdle. That's it. It's just another hurdle. Well, this week, it's just another hurdle. Okay? We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Go One Pride. Go Detroit Lions. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Pressured by Hutchinson.